Hey guys, it's Uncle Jonah here, feeling a little bit worse for wear because, as you well know, I was out yesterday doing some camera scoring because now I'm a beer judge. Shimon. But yeah, got got a little bit hammered. Probably had, I think, had about 16, maybe 17 halves. So that's eight and a bit pints, 8.5 pints. Yeah, ridiculous. Those days should not be. I shouldn't be able to do that at my age. Ridiculous, ridiculous. Getting near 10 pints of beer is is crazy. So I'm feeling a little bit worse for wear. But you know how we roll. I'm back with another beer review for you guys, and it's another one from the Celtic Nations Bad Boy box. Um, there's nothing about this particular brewery in the actual thing except for this map. There we are, Flowerhorn, which is right in South Wales, boy. Oh, you'll see, little bit near Cardiff, near the Tiny Rebels, you see. But they don't have anything about that particular brewery in the Ferment magazine, unfortunately. Oh, he says as he drops it on the floor. But never mind, dear viewer. We are looking at this one, Capo or Capo. And there's some dude wearing like a mask or something. Capo the clown, perhaps. The other type of capo or capo you put on a guitar to make a bridge. You see, we have a Citra Pale Ale. I'm glad they called it a Pale Ale. 5.1% on the ABV. Many people would have said this was an IPA, but I'm glad they're not. And there's some ridiculous Flowerhorn pufferfish thing. Looks like he's got something very unfortunate on his head. Anyway, here we go. So 5.1% Citra Pale Ale Capo. It is a smooth, refreshing ale brewed with oats for a full body, which is always good, and dry hopped with lots of citra for a citrus taste. That citrus taste, citrus hit even. So we got water, we got barley, we got oats, we got wheat, hops and yeast. Fan Dabby Dorsey. Does it say the address? Yeah, there we go, down there, Cardiff. It's Cardiff, you'll see. Very, very nice. And I think it's got some maltodextrin or something in it to infuse a bit more body into the beer. Not sure how true that is or not, but look at that. I like that. That's cool. It's like some weird kind of art. Capo, dun dun dun, the clown. Bit out of focus. Never mind. Anyway, the reason I had this, I should be doing the 10th Beer 52 10th anniversary, which is kind of their beer of the year, their awards ceremony. But these were in the fridge, so when in Rome, do that kind of stuff. Now, I don't think I'm going to have any problems because this one was reasonably squidgy. Sorry, there was a bit long pause there because I was afraid that I was going to get something on my hand because there were some bubbles coming up through my test thing. My test. A kingdom for my test. No, what am I talking about? Absolute nonsense as usual. That's why you've tuned in, dear viewer. And if this is your first time watching an Uncle Jonah video, why not think about subscribing? You can do that down below. Leave me a like, leave me a message. I'm pretty good to talk to, and I will reply to you. I reply to everyone. There we go. So there's Capo, there's the beer, there's my cheeky grin, and lovely, lovely, lovely. Capo. Now look at that. Lovely kind of creamy kind of haze to that. Looks quite juicy. What should we say? Yellow, straw coloured, perhaps, something along those lines. Very, very small head. I know, I'd say half a finger's head. Fast disappearing, but lovely white colour. Fantastic. So I'm hoping that because we have some wheat and oats, we might get some foam action in this bad boy. Wow, lovely. Citra. They've said a lot about the Citra, but I'm thinking perhaps there's some other stuff in here as well, because I'm getting some sort of tropical stuff on the nose. There is the greenery there too, which is what Citra's all about, the hedgerow kind of thing, the cut grass. But there's some fruitiness there, sort of a pineapple-y, perhaps mango-y kind of thing, which is very interesting from a Citra-only beer. Who knows? Right, let's dive in, dear viewer. Chin chin, and hopefully it doesn't kick off the madness that happened yesterday. Oh, wow. Yeah, lovely, um, nice green kind of hops. It's kind of a little bit generic hop like, but that's probably because Citra hops are the most grown hops in the whole world. But I'm also getting some lovely creaminess that's going to be from the oats and the wheat, which is fantastic. And as predicted, look at that lovely straight line there. Hopefully, we're going to get some more of those, which will be absolutely fandabidozy. Because it's quite cold, the carbon dioxide is in the liquid. So this one's going to be slightly difficult for me to drink quickly because I'm still, suffering from yesterday. But this is like hair of the dog for me, um, which is a bit weird. But yeah, really nice beer. It's in the hazy kind of style. Fantastic. Let's see what we get the second draft. Oh, another tide line there. Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. I like the tide lines when they happen. It makes me happy. But yeah, there's definitely some fruit in there. And we're thinking, yeah, I'd say this is less juicy than I thought perhaps it would be. So we're looking, yeah, some sort of tropical fruit. Mango is probably not a bad guess for this one. Um, Yeah, it's quite zesty. It's not very bitter as well, which is interesting. But they said that they put a load of dry hops in instead of bittering hops. So yeah, for the hazy style, the kind of New England style, the modern hazy style, should I say, it's not about the bitterness. It's not about the high IBUs, which back in the day, back in the 2000s, it was all about who had the highest IBU, who had the highest number, with beers going over 100, which was ridiculously kind of resinous and mouth puckeringly bitter. Whereas nowadays, it's all about the softness, which is why also a lot of beers have the oats and the wheat in there, just trying to soften things out, mellow yellow, that kind of stuff. Wow, while I've been talking, the tide lines, the foam have actually disappeared from the side of my glass. That makes me sad. Wow, I told you there'd be a lot of carbon dioxide in there, and there is. Um, wow, let us dive in for some more. And there definitely is some lacing as the other kind of another tide line formed. But yeah, they're all sliding down the glass, which is not so good. Um, I don't mind. Hmm. As I'm going down the glass, perhaps I am getting a little bit more kind of fruit juice as I was to start with, but it's still quite a good amount of creaminess in there. It's not that thick though, which is interesting. Um, I was expecting the body to be a bit more kind of thick, a bit more tasty, a bit more chewy, perhaps. What's that chewy? And all that kind of jazz. I wonder if Chewbacca drinks real ale and beers and craft stuff. My God, he's probably a real ale man. I think Chewy. Mm. Who knows? I mean, there's a little bit of kind of substance there, but it's not what I would call a thick milkshake type beer. It looked like it might have been. I've had a couple of those lately. I had a couple of Time and Tide beers yesterday, and they are proper thick beers. This one, a little bit more watery. Mm. But pretty good beer from what were they called? Flowerhorn, which is that weird fish thing. Flowerhorn, Capo. Absolutely ridiculous. It's yeah, very nice beer in the modern style. A lot of people are kind of doing these beers. 5.1%, really good, proper in the sweet spot, I think, of where beer should be. Um, it is even calling it a pale ale and not an IPA, which for me gets an extra thumb up. So yeah, if you can get hold of Flowerhorn beers, yeah, definitely go for it. Especially if you're one of my friends over in Wales, you see, isn't it? Okay, blooders. Um, Hoffy coffee and all this kind of stuff. Cresso. I used to learn a little bit. I tried to do Duolingo for learning Welsh, and it got very difficult very quick. And yeah, I tried, but it's hard. And I'm not very good at language. I can't even speak English, some would say. Anyway, we've gone well over 10 minutes, guys, and that's trying what I aim for, really. Um, yeah, nice and creamy. Um, take care of each other. Take care of yourselves. Try and drink some beer. It's almost Christmas. We'll definitely get there. Doing some more Christmas reviews. I'm doing a review every day at the moment because I've got a backlog and I've got my vocation beers, fantastic kind of beers. So lots of interesting stuff coming. Please join me, dear viewer, and we'll be back with more beer reviews real soon.